Hey YouTube, welcome to another Valkyrie Connect video. My name is Hakeo, and today I'll be going over on the new Connect Fafnir. Fafnir offers a specific token that allows you to purchase his soul as well as his helmet, which I will show you in a bit. So Fafnir's helmet, what it does is a 3-star, shields against 20% of damage for 2 turns and 30% earth attack damage counterattack for 2 turns. And just remember that the skill increase only increases the counterattack, not the shield. So a few things to keep in mind while fighting Fafnir is that you should have multi-hit weapons, multi-hitting heroes, as well as the resistance towards his element and the strength against his element, as well as having heroes that will crush his crystals. And now we'll be going over his stats as well as the recommended weapons and heroes to fight against him efficiently. But before we start, I'd like to give thanks as well as credit to those who contributed to this information and making it possible for everyone else to view it. So to start, Fafnir is a physical attacker being earth-based. He's a beast while his elevation is grounded, meaning he's not airborne, and his resistance being weakest to fire and light, and his most resistance being earth and dark. He has 2 crystals that will accompany him as you scale up in difficulty, and 4 being the max in later difficulties such as 6 and 7s. Fafnir has 2 abilities, one being his activated skill and the other one being his auto skill. His auto skill is his barrier, which will show him flying up in the air and landing down, pulsating out a green wave, and a barrier will show up just as you see in Luca when she activates her absorb barrier. The second ability is his activated skill, which will show him hitting you 3 times, dealing 50% earth damage, and lowering the defense down for 3 turns to the nearest enemy row. So a few things to keep in mind about his crystals is that the near ones will deal skill gauge down with a defense down for 5 turns, and the far ones will deal the damage with the skill gauge down in conjunction with the ailment that you have currently on 2 random heroes. And also keep in mind that each crystal, as well as Fafnir himself, they're all physical attacks. So try to stack defense over magic defense. So as I mentioned before, the few things to keep in mind while fighting Fafnir is his race, his element, as well as his barrier. Being the barrier, you have to hit it multiple times to break it before you can start damaging him. You can see that the recommended weapons each either hit him multiple times, they have an elemental advantage on him, or a race advantage on him. So if you're looking at the weapons and having his barrier in mind, the most optimal weapons to choose would be Deforester, Icicle Cannon, and the Autumn Rain, since they hit multiple times, and Deforester being the fire element deals extra damage to him as well. Keep in mind that the Dragon Gauntlets S as well as the X, they're specific towards Fei Long, and the Slayer Ring is an exclusive item that if you didn't get it during the event, you're not going to have it. So the type of items that you should be looking towards is Autumn Rain, Loot Gun, Fiazi Fur Coat, Icicle Cannon, Deforester, and Featherweight Rapier. There are other weapons out there that hit multiple times, but these are the most popular ones that players like to choose. Now to go on to the heroes that are recommended towards the fight. You want to choose either heroes that have a strong earth resistance towards him, or a strong defense resistance towards his physical attacks. So to go in order of the list, you have Hrungnir, Niji, Heimdall, Balder, Halloween Idun, and Urd, being the last 3 that are your healers and the first 3 being your tanks. If you look at Niji, she also has high earth resistance as well as a SP that deals 3 times damage. So she can assist in breaking the barrier as well on top of the weapons that you choose. Now if you're geared enough or you have a hero optimally orbed, you don't need to have a tank. And I've seen players do fairly well with just having pure DPS with a healer behind him. And that will help kill Fafnir a lot quicker so that he's not spamming out his barriers, prolonging the fight, and potentially making you fail the Connect. And now to go over the optimal attackers in the Connect, and keep in mind that a few of them can equip Icicle Cannon and Deforester. I won't go through every hero on here, but a few ones that I'm going to mention would be Ymir, Liesa, Shiro, Sasha, Risa, Kanon, and Nautica. So Ymir will prevent him from putting up his barrier, which will save your group a lot of time, and it'll increase your chances of succeeding in more difficult connects. With the other 3 melees, Sasha, Liesha, and Chiro, those are your melees that will help take down the barrier quickly, so you can start damaging him again. Now I want you to look at the last 3 range heroes, Kenon, Nautica, and Risa. If you look at each of them, they have some form of elemental race advantage on him while hitting him multiple times. And on top of that, they can also equip the Icicle Cannon and Deforested. The last few heroes that you see on the list, labeled attackers, those are your less optimal attackers, but they will still do if you don't have any of the others on top of the list or just a few of the others. I won't get too much detail with them since they're pretty much your backup if you don't have the others on the top tier list. And now I want to show you a video of some visual cues to see what Fafnir's barrier looked like, as well as his auto attack and his activated attack. And I wanted to say thanks for watching the video. Hit a like button if you like the video, and hit subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Follow me on Twitter to see what I've been up to in the game, and take care until the next video.